Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Thursday Nights for the Radical Race Series SR10 Championship Round 11 here at Long Beach Street Circuit once again. Well, it's going to be an interesting one. 1.968 miles, 3.167 kilometers in length. And it's going to be very, very exciting indeed. Why is it going to be exciting? Well, walls for days. Let's just put it that way. Coming into this one, Simon Edwards is out in front by about 34 points over Paul LeMay. Edwards can wrap this one up, taking the wins here this evening, going into the final round, which has been determined. And we are heading to the Saxon Ring in Germany. So come and check us out for that one next week. Luke Crowley in third, George Gonzaga in fourth, Seth Brown, David Royston, Phil Glover, Michael LeMay, Luke Maxwell, and Graham Matthews, your top 10. Jamie Bird, Damien G, Wayne McNichol, Graham Brown, Paul Clark, Paul Crabb, Robert Woodward, and Darryl Taylor are the drivers that have not been at many races this season. And then Dennis Pomaxis, Rich Curry, George Jones, Tim Odkirk, and Neb Smith, who unfortunately has not made any. But going forward, we have just gone into qualifying as well. Jim, welcome in, buddy. And we've got Long Beach.
We do. Yes. Beautiful Long Beach, California. Good to be here with you. And so, yes, the theme of the day is going to be walls. It's all about walls here. You can't make a mistake. There's no room for error here.
No, definitely not. It's very tight, very twisty in circuit as well. You've got coming down through turn one into Toyota, then through the fountain, through the double right-hander, then coming into Take Turn and Pine Avenue, and then before we go hurtling off down Seaside Way, which is where we are now, through the right-hander of Firestone, then coming into the left-hander. Now, I've seen this chicane cause loads of problems in multi-class and also not standing starts, but rolling starts, because everybody's got to go through their single files. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on. Let's jump on board for a lap with Mr. Simon Edwards for the first run through here at Long Beach. How is this going to be? 86 degrees in weather. Is going to be hot as we go into turn number one. Third gear coming into the fountain, expecting to go down into second. There he goes, rolls it over the curb through the left-hander now. Coming into the right, missed the curb on the right-hand side because it will shoot you off. You can take a lot of this curb on the right, but you've got to be careful. There you go. He hugs the wall on the exit. Does Mr. Edwards, and he's absolutely flying. Now coming into the left-hand turn or a take turn. You've got to open it up and let it run wide. Now bring it back to the left-hand side. Start braking and just on the 100 board, let it run. Again, you can take a lot of curb on the inside. Straight run down Seaside Way. It's going to be a fast, really quick lap here from Simon Edwards. Coming into the right-hander of Firestone. Again, take curb on the inside. You can take a little bit more of that, but you've got to be careful, not too much. Through the left-hander, run the curb again, onto the brakes we go, into the hairpin, get the car rotated early. Now it's that straight run down through Shoreline Drive, coming into the right-hander of Bridgestone, and that's it. That is a lap here at Long Beach. Didn't take long at all, Jim. What does Edwards do? A 15:09 going over the line, fastest man on the racetrack.
Yeah, and I'm not surprising, of course, that he's the fastest man on the track. But yeah, that was a really good lap. Actually, that was obviously a great person to pick to take the lap with. Yeah, he's so fast. The way he took that hairpin, that was that was perfection. The back end didn't step out on him. The car rotated perfectly through there. You couldn't have, like I said, you couldn't have taken a lap with anybody any better. And it looks like he's having a hot one going right now. He's got 2 purple sectors already.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying is Edwards once more. Paul LeMay is in behind him. There's Edwards up the road. LeMay sitting in second place on the road and also on the timing screen. Edwards again going green. LeMay stills the purple away for sector 3. Coming into the left-hander now. Double left through the hairpin right. Get the car rotated and away we go once more for Simon Edwards. This is going to be a 15. Is it going to be a 14? That's going to be the question. How close is he going to get here to that 14.00, 14.9? What's Paul LeMay going to do in behind him? Is he going to get a 14? No, he grabs a 15.3. Phil Glover also flying at the moment. He's got some greens on the board as he's going through the double left-hander as well. Lap times going to come in thick and fast here, Jim, and I think going forward as well, these next 11 laps for the sprint, 19 laps for the feature, aren't going to take long at all.
No, these cars fly around this place. A fun car to drive. This is a great track for this car. I was looking at those lap times. That's very similar to practice right there. That's about where Paul and Simon were apart from each other during practice. Simon had about a 4/10 jump on him there for most of practice. So I think I think that's being reflected here. This is a tough circuit though, man. I mean, you push it here and you end up in big trouble.
Oh, you push it, you end up in the wall.
Yes.
There's not a doubt. You overcook turn one and you're in the wall. You overcook, what is it, Tectate, I think it is, and you're in the wall. Through the left-hander going down into Pine. It's so difficult. Edwards quicker again, 14.9. What about Paul LeMay? Is he going to be quicker? No, 15.3. What about Buson? He's got some greens on the board. Let's see what Mike can rack up here as he's coming down over the line now. There he goes. He crosses the line. What does Mike Buson get? A 16.1. Ouch. That's a big old gap from Mike to Simon Edwards there.
That's was reflected in practice as well. There was only two, I believe, three guys, maybe two guys or three guys in the 15s. This is like I said, this is a course you got to be really comfortable with to push it, because it's like you said, you just into a wall anywhere you go. Any little snap on one of these turns and you're wrecked.
Is it about bravery, do you think?
I mean, certainly in real life, yes. Here, I think it's just, whether you want to wreck your race. And, at this point, there's not a whole lot of championship hopes left for too many people. But, it'll certainly mess your season up quick here.
Yeah, it will. And that's the thing.
And everybody wants to hold on to their spot, whether it's second, third, fourth, whatever it is. They don't want to go backwards.
Yeah. That's the thing as well. I think it's about trusting what you've set up.
Yes.
I think that's the thing. Because we're running open setups, it's about trusting what you've done. And I think for most of these, it's having the steelies between your legs to be able to basically get brave and send it. Because otherwise, Edwards at the moment is out in front by 4 attempts. If he gets away... 4 attempts a lap over 11 laps, even if you put it at 10 laps, it's going to be 4.5 seconds.
Yeah. And that's assuming that everybody behind him can run their fastest laps as well. If you watch these guys go through the field, Simon's still putting up purple sectors out there. This is a brutal course. I like it. It's fun. But it's dangerous for sure, especially in these little fragile cars, Yeah,
I've driven here in Gen 2s and the supercars, and that wasn't easy. I've got to be honest. Edwards quicker again, 14.9 now. I drove Gen 2 supercars here, and that was not easy at all. I've got to be honest. It was like Bambi on ice for a lot of the time, and going through that final turn at any point was horrendous. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see what these guys do here. Keep it honest, I think. Be brave with it and hope it sticks. It's almost Lightning McQueen-esque. Go in, slam it in, turn right to go left, and as Doc says, hope it sticks.
As we rode through, as we're riding around the track here, I noticed somebody off in turn 1. Another thing that can happen here, because of all these white walls with signs and they're all passing so fast, it's really hard to pick up your brake markers here. And some of these turns do have runoff areas where if you overshoot the turn, you can just go straight a little bit and possibly get the car stopped. It's tough to get your brake markers here too.
Simon Edwards will be on pole, then Paul LeMay, Jamie Bird, Mike Buson, Luke Crowley, George Gonzaga, David Rolliston, Graham Matthews, Phil Glover and Michael LeMay will be your top 10. Whether or not Michael's going to take to the start, not 100% sure. It did not do a qualifying lap. Trying to see if there's anything here from Michael, but can't see anything at all. Let's give him a little bit of a tag and see if he gets onto the grid, which I think he has already. So he is going to race, but he's just racing at the back. There is Simon Edwards ready to go. And before we know it, we're going to be racing at a very difficult circuit indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, if you are here, say hi. Grab your drinks, grab your popcorn, sit back, relax, and get ready to go. Because I can tell you one thing, this is going to be a very spicy evening. Maybe not so much if Simon Edwards breaks away. I think the battle could be second and third between Paul LeMay, Jamie Bird, and Mike Buson. We've got new livery from Mr. Gonzaga, but I'm not entirely sure if he's got that wrong and just basically put the wrong livery on. Luke Crowley is also sporting a new livery. He's there further back, free back on the right-hand side with the white, orange, blue, and yellow. Everybody else in their normal liveries, but unfortunately Mr. Gonzaga's is not loading, not get it to load. 4 lights, 5 lights. Green, green, green here at Long Beach. Simon Edwards breaks away. Paul LeMay in second. Buson in third there. He's made a place at the start over Jamie Bird. Covers Jamie Bird off going down into turn 1. They're almost talking about going 3 wide with Gonzaga in there as well. Bird's going up the inside. This is not going to work if you're going to carry this. Buson manages to hold on from Gonzaga. Gonzaga settles in behind him. Jamie Bird, big and brave on the brakes there. Got the start. But Jamie Bird, he lost the position, got the position back, but Simon Edwards out in front and is gone like a rocket. Luke Crowley up 3 places.
Luke Crowley that was a fantastic start by him, man. Yeah, look at him. He's right up there behind Simon.
Yeah, he is at the moment. Let's see what he could do. And for Crowley, whether or not he can go and start climbing over the back of Simon Edwards. He's going to use that draft down Seaside Way to come in. As we said, the laps are going to come in thick and fast because they're only 1 minute 19 lap times. It was less than that, wasn't it? 1 minute 14
well,
lap
15.
times. 15,
yeah.
14 lap times that Edwards was doing. So this 11 laps should technically take 13 minutes here as Edwards goes over the line for race for the first time. He is in first. Mr. Gonzaga sitting in at the 4th place. He's actually down to 6th place, chasing down Mike Buson. Is he going to make the move on the inside? Is he going to get that inside line? Gonzaga does try and get through. Hard on the brakes from Gonzaga. Buson brakes early. Gonzaga's going to make it through. He leaves him room on the exit, but Mike's not even there. The job was done. Buson braking well early.
Yeah, that was he almost let him go there, it seems like. He's not ready to pick and choose your battles, especially at a place like this. I don't think he wanted to mess with George right there at all.
Yeah, I don't think so on that one.
Buson could be adjusting his fan speeds right now.
Well, we could do. We could do.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
I've got him already.
I've got another screen going here, and I was on board with Buson right as I was making the fan joke, and when he made that turn back there, he was sawing on the wheel something fierce. So maybe he chose to let George go because his cars hadn't come in as far as handling goes yet. He really was fighting some massive understeer there.
Woods over the line, 15.5, 3 laps down. Gonzaga's going to pick up another place going into turn number 1. That's Jamie Bird gone behind us. Gonzaga should cover him off. Bird's not going to make that. He does. That's another place for Gonzaga. He's climbed up 2 places already. Crowley in front, up 2. He's lost that place to Paul LeMay. And this is how this happened for the rundown into turn number 1. Straight overtake from Paul LeMay. Little bit of contact there as well. Paul getting his elbows out, giving Crowley something to think about. But Buson's now in behind Bird.
Yeah, well, and the Paul LeMay, that was not surprising that he, because those two have been the fastest. But what's happened, what's transpired there is a little over 2 seconds now to Simon already. Little fighting back there between Paul and Luke, and Simon's gone. Checking out.
Yeah, 2.8 seconds up the road, or 2.3 as it was teetering on in and around that area. Through the hairpin he goes. Buson now tries to take that inside line. There's been a little bit of contact with Bird. You see the scrapes down the right-hand side of his car. Here we go on board with Buson, the man from Team Radline. Is he going to be able to get this through? He now goes on the inside of Jamie Bird. Bird loses another place a lap later than what he did with Gonzaga. Buson goes through, gets the job done. Bird going to set behind him. Buson's double tapped the wall. Buson's double tapped the wall. He hit it again on the left-hander. Is he going to clip it again? No, not this time of Buson, but he double hit the wall. We've lost Graham Matthews. Graham Matthews has given himself some dramatics. He's gone and thumped the wall. That was back on lap 1. Michael LeMay, it says he crashed right at the start here, but I'm not too sure if that is entirely true. Oh, he didn't. He just got off the line very, 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 very slowly indeed. But Michael LeMay, gap's opening up a little bit. Edwards now 2.45 seconds in front of LeMay. LeMay 1.26 in front of Crowley. Gonzaga's 1.6 back. Bird's 2.8 back. And Buson's tucked in right behind him. With David Rolliston not too far behind him either. No, he's not. Oh, no, he hasn't. Sorry, I registered the Simon Edwards as a crash then. I got a little bit excited.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, he come up and said he'd crashed. He hasn't crashed. He's just
no.
Very, very slow through the final chicane, I think.
He barely ever puts a tire wrong, man. It's
sickening.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, it's absolutely sickening how one man can be so consistent. And I don't think, but I've never asked him this question, but I don't think he's young. I don't think he's like 20, 21, 22. I think that
no, he doesn't. He doesn't sound like it.
No, I think if I interview him, I'll ask him, and we can gauge it. Because now, my luck, he'd probably tell me he's 50 or something, and he still absolutely kicks butt on the racetrack.
Well, to be honest, I would expect him to be closer to 50 than I would be to 20. For sure.
Buson hard on the brakes. Needs to be a little bit careful.
It seems like he's fighting that car a little bit. Like I said, he made that pass earlier. He was pretty quick there, but then he bumped the wall twice. I don't think that car is set up exactly to his liking right now.
Oh, I agree with you on that one. Buson's going to come up Bird again. Rolliston's in the background. Glover's in behind that. Matthews was close to Glover, but now not anymore. Buson's going to go and not get it through this time. Stay off the wall, Mike. Stay off the wall. They do stay off the wall. Coming into the fountain. Try getting a car up on that fountain. You can't actually do it. It does stop you. Hey,
did you try that? Did you try that intentionally, or was that by accident?
No, it was intentionally. After the race, I tried to put a car on the fountain. Couldn't get out of there in the Gen 2s at the time for the supercars, which is surprising. Considering I think I hit every other wall around the circuit apart from that one. So there we go. Buson now has got Rollo closing in. Rolliston's getting a little bit closer to Mike here, and if Mike's not careful, he could be deeply under the costume.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I'm a little surprised that Rollo's that far back right now. He must not have this course must not be to his liking. A lot like the person behind him, which is Phil. I fully expected Phil to not have the best day here. This just does not seem like the type course that suits Phil very well.
I wonder how his teeth's going on with him VR and a motion simulator. I wonder if they're still in his head at this moment in time, because this track is a fairly bumpy circuit. I know for certain circuits he does turn the motion sim down, and he does it for Sebring as well, because it does kind of says it rattles his dentures at times. But there we go, through the left-hander for Rollo. Is he going to come into the right? He does without any problems. Let's see how much curb he takes here. He could take a lot more. There you go. Through he goes. Edwards,
Jamie just caught the wall there.
Yeah, Edwards has clearly hit something, because he's lost a lot of time
Oh, he has. Almost a full second.
Yeah, he must have made a mistake somewhere for Simon Edwards, because he's lost nearly a full second to Paul LeMay.
This is that kind of circuit, though. You make a little mistake, you got to get off the power. You can't, I'll just run it a little wide here. That doesn't work here.
There goes Rollo. He's not going to be able to get, well, great overtake. He managed to get it stopped through Buisson. Through the left-hander towards the end, coming into the hairpin. I do expect this to swap the other way, though, Jim, go down into turn one.
I mean, he's certainly set up for that, and his car's been fast on the straightaway. The question is, can he get it to turn at the end of the straightaway?
Well, there you go. We're going to find out, aren't we? And whether or not that's going to be possible for him. He doesn't make the move down into turn one. Rollo nearly punches the wall. Comes into the fountain, goes out the other side. This is the closest battle on the racetrack at the moment. Rollo again, still managing to hold on around the multi-story. Buisson still tucked in, can't quite get this on the run down into Tech Kate turn, the left-hander. Before they go down Pine Avenue, Buisson still not close enough. That is a very difficult turn, that, Jim. You're actually surprising how difficult it is, and this one. Because if you get that one wrong, there's that nice little tyre wall on the right-hand side waiting for you. But that left-hander around Tech K is basically very, very difficult because you're trying to apply the power while trying to turn left, which might not sound hard, but if you don't turn left hard enough, you're going to hit the wall. And that's the problem.
Yeah, it is. That is a tough car. And what's funny is, like in something like the supercar, like you drove here, and that turns really tough in a supercar. It's I would say less hard in an Indy car, even though you're going a lot faster. Those supercars are so hard to get to turn anyway, and especially when you're having to apply power while you're turning.
Oh yeah, and the back end don't like it. Don't forget you're on I'm sure half the time you're on 12-inch wheels or something. It is literally ridiculous. There's no grip on the rear end. Even the Gen 3s are just as bad. But I think at the moment they're in a better place than the Gen 2s are. Buisson's in a better place and he's been throughout the whole lap. Jumps the curb. Is he going to get Rollo again going down into that left-hander? Michael LeMay has crashed. He's just gone round in the background. Yep. Buisson still climbing over Rollo. Open it up. You've got another lane to go if you want that. Can't make this move at the moment, though, Jim. And for Mike Buisson, he just seems to be sat there waiting. Yeah,
I think, I think he's, again, like I said, I don't think this car's tuned up to his liking at all. It wouldn't surprise me. Well, I'm not sure if you can, actually. Can you make adjustments in between the two races?
If you want to, yeah. It's an open setup.
Okay. Yeah, well, then it wouldn't surprise me at all to see him make some adjustments to his car, because I don't think he's got it where he wants it right now at all.
Buisson climbing in. There's Rollo in front, jumping on. Oh, Rollo defending so hard. Buisson breaks so early.
He remember he did on the first lap or the second lap when they were coming through there. I don't know. He for some reason, he doesn't want to take a chance on that turn, apparently.
Yeah, into the right-hander.
We all have those. We all have those turns that we're a little scared of. Yeah, and we just we don't get it right, and so what we do is we make sure we don't get it wrong.
The problem is with doing that is you jeopardize the speed that you have got throughout the rest of the lap. That's the problem for Mike Buisson. But let's see what he's able to do here.
Luckily, at that particular turn, you're coming into that fountain area, which is a slower part of the track, and so you're not losing your momentum down a major straightaway, at least.
Yeah, but he just looks like he's struggling a lot at the moment. Is Mike Buisson?
Hey, watch his. Yeah, he is struggling.
Yeah, absolutely. Good evening, Craig Jones. Thanks so much for joining us. White flag lap. Told you, thick, fast laps here. 1:15 lap times, and we're already on the final lap. Simon Edwards out in front by 3.7 seconds. Unless he makes a major drama, he's going to take the win. Then Paul LeMay, and then I should think Luke Crowley. Race number 2 is going to be interesting. It's going to be a full grid reverse. So hold on to your hats for that one. full grid reverse. So they're going to, all 10 drivers will swap places. So Michael LeMay will be on pole, unless, of course, he is out. And then, unfortunately, he will not be. But Buson's still climbing over Rollo. Edwards coming into Firestone, the final right-hander. Buson tries to make a move, doesn't. He's only got one more place to go. He's got to carry as much speed as possible. Edwards coming in through the final chicane here, coming over the line for Simon Edwards. He's going to make this race win. He gets a race win one, done and dusted. Over the line he goes. Great job from Simon Edwards. Picks up the victory. Paul LeMay in second, Luke Crowley third. What's going on with Buson and Rollo? Well, they're still neck and neck through the final corner. Are they going to be able to make it over the line? They're not at the moment. Rollo holding on. Buson tucked in right behind him. That's how they're going to finish. There's 2 cars there, believe it or not. There we go. Over the line they go. Graham Matthews and Phil Glover finish off here.
Yeah, that was, well, I mean, to be honest, it went about like, like you would expect it, with the exception of, I guess the surprise there's Rollison and Buson back there just seemed to be, especially Buson, seemed to be having a little trouble.
Let's have a look at the results of race number 1. And then you flip this on his head, and that will be the grid for race number 2. Simon Edwards, Paul LeMay, Luke Crowley, George Gonzaga, Jamie Bird, David Rolliston are your top 6. Then Mike Buson, Phil Glover, Graham Matthews, and Michael LeMay. So there we go for these guys. See how they get on. How much long time we got left? About a minute and a half. Have a quick chat with Mr. Phil Glover, who's just about leaving the pit lane. Phil, welcome in.
Good evening, James.
Am I coming? Right? Yeah, am I coming through in your ear rolls or under your toes?
You're coming in my ear rolls. Yeah.
Oh, lucky me. That's one place I haven't before. On that one. How's it out there, Phil? Bumpy, innit?
It is pretty bumpy, yeah. And didn't really get much chance to practice tonight, so but yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Did you do your weekly practice session with Simon Edwards?
I did yesterday night, yeah.
How did that go?
It went okay. I kind of decided it wasn't going to be a great performance from me, but I learned some tricks, but we'll see if I can use them.
All right, mate. Well, look forward to it. Looking forward to seeing how you get on for race number 2 there, bud. Go out and...
Where am I on the grid?
You're in second row. I think you're in 4th.
No.
Okay.
He's going to be...
Bird?
Oh, yeah, he is. No, you're right. You're right. 3rd or 4th. Yeah,
Third
you're
or
right.
4th,
That's
mate.
right.
You'll be.
4th, okay.
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I'll expect all the tricks from Edwards and a Phil Glover win.
Hey, Phil.
Yeah, hi.
Just when you get down there to turn 1, just send it. Just let it go. Send it right on in there.
Yeah, at least there's a runoff if I need to.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just don't hit the wall. Right, Phil, take care. We ain't got long left. Adios.
Cheers.
A little quick chat with Mr. Phil Glover.
I love Phil,
LeMay,
man.
Struggling with my hand. Paul, pull up your big boy pants. You can do it. As well.
Yeah, this is a tough. This is a tough course to be fighting with if you got some hand issues like he does.
Yeah, Michael LeMay on pole, then Graham Matthews, Phil Glover, Mike Buson, Rolliston, Bird, Gonzaga, Crowley, Paul LeMay and Edwards. Let's see if Paul makes it out there. Come on, Paul, you got this. Paracetamol, ibuprofen, and a shot of ketamine.
Got that force feedback down a little bit is what he needs to do.
Mm-hmm. Is Michael going to make the start line? Is your brother going to make it? Paul, let me know. I don't know what's up with Michael. He didn't have a good run in race number 1.
He seems to have been distracted for the kind of the last part of the season. I think real life is getting in the way of his.
Jim, 4 lights are on, 5 lights. Now we're going to be green, green, green. Matthews didn't really get that off the line. It's going to be Phil Glover leading the way down into turn 1. Is he going to be able to make this work? He's got Buson hassling him as well. They're almost going to try 3 wide round turn number 1. I've not seen this before.
My God.
There could be a good reason for this. Matthews manages to hold on to the lead. Glover's been pushed out a little bit. Buson's now in there. Settles in behind Phil. Gives Phil a gentle little kiss, tap, love tap, smack on their bum, whatever you want to call it. And Glover manages to hold on, but Graham Matthews got the whole shot. He's out in front. We got Matthews has gone round.
Oh, right in front of Phil too.
Glover's in him. That puts Buson in the lead. Edwards is right at the back. He did not get a good start. I think there was a major checkup going into one. Watch everybody break coming into the fountain. Edwards then had to unfortunately just wait and wait and wait and wait. He spun Paul LeMay, who tries to go around the outside.
Oh, my goodness.
Paul goes and cuts all the flowers down, but Mike Buson leads the way into the first lap. And that was absolutely crazy here this evening.
Wow. Man, I was just about to cheer for Phil. He sent it like... And he was up there. He was having a good little run right there, man. Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But, the thing is, when you got a guy like Matthew, he clearly wasn't comfortable with the circuit, obviously in the first race, and you get up there in front and just that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, clearly did. And unfortunately for Michael LeMay, he is out. But lots of action taking shape with Mike Buson in the lead at the moment. He's leading the way over 1.1 over Gonzaga. I didn't really see much of George in race number 1. Rollo in behind that with Burrard and Crowley. There's Edwards. There's Phil Glover trying to recover. Paul LeMay is tucked up behind the wingless Graham Matthews, who's gone and hit a wall at the beginning, who we saw and spun. And he looks like he may have done something again after that. Did he spin this up again, or did he just get this completely wrong, unfortunately for Grant? Oh, no, you spin it.
No?
Here we go. No, just picked up that he went very, very slowly on that one. Does look like some action further up with Burrard in the mix. He's got up the inside of Rollo. Rollo's going to try come around the outside. Crowley is going to be in there as well. This is going to be almost free ride running down into the hairpin. Rollo just give Crowley a little bit of squeeze. I know you're there. I'm going to get the draft off Bird, whether you like it or not. Bird gives the draft to Crowley. Now down coming into turn number 1. Bird's in the middle. Crowley's got half. Rollo's got half. Who's going into turn 1? Rollo's been big and brave. He's going to make Crowley do it, and Crowley goes in behind him. David Rollison is nailing turn 1. Fair play to him. He has been big and brave all day.
Yes, that was a nice braking move right there, man, in a dangerous corner, That tire wall comes up fast right there.
It definitely does. And for Rollo, he is doing a great job in turn number 1 at the moment. Absolutely nailing it every single time. And is spectacularly managing to make it through there. But he's got Crowley now tucked up right behind him. Crowley coming down into the right-hander. He looks up the inside, thinks about it. Rollo doesn't really care if he's there or not. He's not going to get through. Crowley's going to try the outside line. Rollo should open up the steering. He didn't open up the steering. Still wide round the hairpin. Both of them making it work. He's first on the gas. Is now a drag sprint down into turn number 1, and no offense, Luke, unless you're going to be as late as Rollo, I think you might lose this one. Or Crowley's taking the shorter route. He cuts Rollo off. Now Rollo's got to determine what he's going to do. Rollo backs off. Made me look like a complete and utter liar, David Rollison.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what I see. I see two guys fighting, and I see a purple and blue car rolling up in the background pretty fast.
Yes.
Purple to pink to blue, or what, he's got some. What is that color? You nail it every week when you say it.
Blue, purple, and pink, I think.
Yes, there it is.
That's what I would go with.
So, he's coming fast either way.
He definitely is, without a shadow of a doubt, and that's the question for Edwards. Gonzaga's coming fast on the back end of Mike Buson. And George moving up very, very quickly indeed.
Yeah, George seems relatively comfortable here. He did, like I said, we didn't talk about him much in the first race, but he, if you watch the lines he's taken, he seems pretty comfortable here.
He does at the moment for Mr. Gonzaga. Doing a great job. Holding on to the spack of Buson. And he's managing to keep there currently at the moment. Is he going to be able to stay there? That's going to be the question. Edwards has closed on to the back of Rollo. Into the fountain, leave the plants alone. Through the right, through the left. Now coming into the right-hander again. Past all the signage on the right-hand side. Now we're going to try again through the right-hander over the curb. Edwards is still going to be in there. It's going to be very difficult for Edwards to make a move at the moment.
Yeah, not quite there yet for the move, but he's certainly closing in. And he's got a few laps in this one to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, if anybody in front of him has a problem, which certainly, is possible. That's a nice... he's making his move now, isn't he?
Down into the right-hander. Through goes Simon Edwards.
God, he is so fast, man. Just his lines are just perfect.
Well, Pousson's line wasn't perfect. Pousson goes on the defensive from Jamie Bird, but I got a funny feeling he has crashed his car. Peels off and goes down there.
Missed.
I think he did something before that, though. What has he done? Oh, you're going to hit the wall or something. Oh,
he spun it. Oh!
It's a broken
That'll
car.
knock the rear end out of it, yeah.
Yeah. Mike Busso's jumped back to pit lane. All of that effort has gone. Bird now sitting in second place. Crowley now in behind him in third. Who's going to be able to get this one through? The left-hander they go here at Long Beach of Cape Turn through Pine Avenue, down through the right-hander onto Seaside Way. Crowley sitting in behind. 6 down, 13 to go to here, Jim, and there's action already with Mike Pousson in pit lane.
Oh, yeah, and you got Jamie and Luke here. If they start messing about too much, which they're only a half a second apart right here, again, that purple, blue, and pink car is coming.
Mm-hmm. It definitely is in the background. Crowley's got to think about what he's going to do here. Is he going to make this move over Bird? Is Bird holding him up? Over the line they go through Bridgestone, coming down into the left-hander of turn number 1 in Toyota. Crowley's going to try and be later on the brakes. He's later on the brakes, not going to make it. Tightens up 1. That's the problem there. If he weren't going to make it, he should have just gone back out on the racing line. Because now he's lost all of his momentum and he's got to try and get it back again.
Yeah, I think, that's certainly the problem there. If you try to take that inside line and try to outbrake somebody, if you can't get it done, you really do screw up the next half of your lap trying to regain your momentum.
Through the left-hander he goes. Now over to the left-hand side against the wall. Coming into the right. Over the curb for Crowley. Takes a lot of the curb, more than Bird. Bird still manages to hold on in front. Down Seaside Way we go. Under the bridges, through the right-hander now of Firestone. Bird breaks first, Crowley breaks second. Over the curb, now we're going to go left here. Left. We're feathering the throttle. We're on the brakes. We're turning it sharp right, round the hairpin. Bird didn't get a bad run, but it did look like Crowley got a little bit of a better run.
Yeah, I think so. I think Bird's rear end stepped out on him just a touch. He probably had to get back off the throttle a little bit, but doesn't seem too bad.
Hard on the brakes they go through the left-hander. Bird's going to hit the wall.
Oh, he's in
Crowley's
trouble.
Going to puncture him.
No.
Nowhere to go. Bird hit the wall. Nowhere to go for Crowley. What's your steering like, son? Because you ain't got a nose. Slightly to the right.
It's jacked up.
Is he going to be able to straighten his car off? Maybe. Doesn't look horrendous there from Luke Crowley, but that was a heck of a whack from the front back end of Jamie Bird. That's brought Edwards right into it. David Rollo's made a mistake as well. He's got Paul LeMay pressurizing him. These guys continuing the fight all the way down. Lap 8 of 19. We've got 11 to go. Paul LeMay fighting out. Edwards has just gone and taken Luke Crowley. He's got his feet hanging out in the wind. No sweaty feet for Luke here this evening. He's going to get the full Long Beach draft, waffling up his skirt. Let's hope he's not sitting on a feather, otherwise he will be in trouble.
Okay, you got me on that one.
There you go. Simon Edwards, Luke Crowley.
Thanks for that visual. Appreciate that.
Bird going through turn one now, still in the lead of Simon Edwards. Edwards tucked in behind him, lap 9 and 19. We got 10 to go here at Long Beach. Through the right hander we go. 10, down to 8 cars now. We've lost Buson and we lost LeMay. Edwards has scraped the wall on the left-hand side. Crowley's got his feet hanging out. He's all right at the moment. Bird's tucked in front of Edwards. How much is he going to defend? Believe it or not, it's actually harder to defend here than what you think, because there are certain wide sections like this that's very, very wide. Wide again down here. You can fit 3 wide down here if you're very, very sensible. But at the moment, Jamie Bird is managing to hold on. He doesn't really need to defend. What about Paul LeMay? Are you going to make Rollo defend? You blink an hour and all. Rollo on the left-hand side. LeMay, take your line, take your racing line. Didn't really take the racing line, and Rollo manages to hold on. What about Edwards? He's still tucked in behind Crowley. Crowley's gone slow around the hairpin, but it is going to be whether or not Simon Edwards is going to be able to get Jamie Bird.
Well, he's got to get it done relatively quickly if he's going to catch George. George has stepped out to a 4-second lead, and it's going to take, short of a mistake, it's going to take Simon a little bit to make that up. I mean, you know, and like you said, the funny thing about this course is we describe it as tight, but it is wide too. It's got some really fantastic passing areas, and then it's got some really tight places that if you put a tire wrong, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're wide enough at a certain point. This is the thing for me with this circuit. It's very wide, but if you make one slip, you're in that tyre barrier like Mike Buson was, or you're in the runoff area like we're going to look at now down Firestone, or you're going to do the runoff in turn number 1, or you're going to hit the tyre barrier. Through the left-hander or tech you're going to hit the wall if you get it wrong. You know, there's tyres waiting for you. Now you're going to come left here. You can only go straight into a wall there. There's no runoff in front of you here. You can't get this wrong. You have to make sure you do not slip and slide that car into that hairpin, which I've seen so many times. It's actually quite scary. Now Edwards is going to try up. This is the thing with this track, Jim. You know, you've got runoffs. One slip, one mistake, one absolute complete chop of a brake pedal, and you're going to be in that wall in turn number 1.
It looks like Crowley went ahead and pitted there. I think he did.
Yeah, Crowley's gone into pit lane, gone to get his nose put on after the plastic surgeon and Jamie Bird cut it off. Edwards still tucked in behind Bird, not really looking to make the move. There's LeMay in the background. He's just opened up a bit of a gap to Rollo. These guys continuing to fight. 8 laps down. Simon Edwards is tucked in behind Jamie Bird. That's the situation. Bird has been slower than Edwards over the last 3 laps. Edwards 2 seconds on 8. Hundredths on 9. 5 hundredths on 10. So Edwards is a little bit quicker, but let's see if he can make this work. Just got a bit of a slide on. Coming through the right-hander there towards the end, through the next right of their hairpin. But again, can feel the pressure. You know, you've not got a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, or a 7-time champion behind you.
Right. Right. There's a lot of pressure with that. But I tell you what, as you talk about Simon being a little faster than Jamie, he's making his move right here, coming up the inside, going to hard break it in there. Yeah, perfect again. Yeah, perfect. That's normal. I was going to say somebody else that was faster than Jamie was George. George then picked up another 1.5 seconds on him. He's out almost 5.5 seconds. Simon's got his work cut out for him now.
He's definitely not going to catch Gonzaga unless Gonzaga makes an absolute pig's ear of one of the corners. Let's just put it that way. Unless he makes a complete hash of the corners, he shouldn't lose this, George. He should just be able to keep it on the racetrack. The man with a different livery this week from insert name E-Racing Team. I think there's just might be a mistake with his livery because it is not loading whatsoever. But unfortunately for him, the livery hasn't loaded. But I can tell you what, the pace has. It's 5 seconds. Gap spreading out between Bird and Edwards. Luke Crowley trying to climb onto the back of Phil Glover. Glover's down 3 places in 6th at the moment. Glover's second race probably going as rotten as his first one.
Yeah. Well, you know, it started off really bad for him there in that first turn. So let's think about this for a second. How much Simon Edwards was almost a second faster than Jamie in qualify. I mean, than George in qualifying. A second a lap, he catches him.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm not saying he can do that now.
Oh,
you know,
Jamie Bird's in the wall. Oh, bro, what have you done? Through the fountain.
She tried to pull a James Parfitt and put it in the fountain.
Yeah, he hit the wall.
Oh,
he hit the wall on the left hand. If you watch his rear end.
Yeah, he skimmed it, huh?
Yeah, he absolutely did. Just on that one it will be. So it'll be Jamie Bird's left rear. Watch as he comes in through the fountain. Just here. So he's coming around the fountain now. He's going to hit the other side. And you're going to see the wall just about there. Clip his wheel. And unfortunately for Jamie Bird, around he goes.
Man, look at that camera work, would you?
I know, it's spectacular.
It's insane. These 360 cams just spinning around out here, showing everything. We saw some great work earlier with that same kind of camera going down the front straightaway as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not just trying to build drama, but Simon is reeling him in. I just don't know if there's enough laps. 5 laps, and he's 4.5 seconds back.
No.
So I mean, I agree with you. But there's no traffic in front of him. He was clearly faster in qualifying, and the gap is coming down.
Yeah,
and he can see him.
But he's got to get a second a lap, and he isn't getting that.
Well, he's getting close.
2 tenths. He's 8 tenths off, Jim.
Okay. That was a pass lap, though. That was the lap you made the pass on.
You think this one's going to be a second?
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see some action.
Well, no, I know you do, but we can't wish.
It's a half. He's down to less than 4 seconds now. That's another half second. It's coming down.
Watch. 6 tenths.
Okay, so that's close. What he really needs is about 3/4 of a second a lap. That's what he really needs. But the thing is, if he gets within a second or so, then that's going to put a huge amount of pressure on George. Not that I don't. The Portuguese man of war I love, and I would be more than thrilled to see him get a race win here. I guess I just want to see a little action towards the end.
Well,
but you're right. I don't think he's going to catch him either.
So you're praying for action, but you agree with me?
Yes. Well, you're probably right.
Okay.
I mean, you are, but I would like to see him make a run at it anyway. Make it exciting. If anybody can do it, it's Simon for sure.
You just tell my wife that I'm right, because I'm never right.
No.
Well, that's just rude.
You gonna tell mine?
Yeah, I'll let her know. Jim's wrong, love. Mrs. Cunningham, just to let you know, Jim's wrong. 16.
She's well aware. She reminds me regularly that I'm wrong.
15.7, 15.2, half a second.
Nah, it's not. Yeah, it's not quite enough, but
no,
he's a half a second a lap faster.
Let's see whether or not this is going to come down enough. 3.3, 3.2. George is feeling the pressure. I can tell you now a little bit as you can start seeing that relative crumble. And it is crumbling, and it is crumbling.
At this point, his eyes are going from the relative to the rear view mirror to the amount of laps left.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what's happening.
Half a second a lap. He's got 3, what are we on? 16, 17, 18, 19, 4 to go.
4, yeah.
4 times 3, 1.2, 1.3 seconds. Don't think he's going to have enough. He's got to put 20 laps in every single time here for Simon Edwards.
Well, we know he's capable of doing that.
Well, we're going to find out.
I mean, the guy doesn't put a tire wrong, man. It's so impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, Phil Glover could not have a better guy helping him learn how to race. I mean, literally doesn't put a tire wrong.
No.
I mean, all season, we may have seen him make 4 or 5 mistakes the entire year.
You got 7 attempts out of him that time around. 7 attempts. Graham Matthews has gone and jumped to pit lane.
Oh, that's usually not a good sign.
Oh! That is not a good sign.
No, that one hurts bad there. That's the kind that'll hurt you even in sim racing. That'll sprain a thumb or a wrist.
Yeah, 2.4.
Hey, look, see if you can find a chopper view where we can see them possibly closing down and get both of them in the shot. Maybe there you go. See if they'll get close enough to where we can see them yet. No, not here in the streets. I guess not.
Well, there's George. There's Simon.
Huh.
So George has gone through the hairpin now.
He's closing up on him. Look, man. I mean,
it would need at least one more lap.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But the thing is, the intimidation factor has to play in. It's like the old Dale Earnhardt Sr. from the NASCAR days, man. You could be out there, but all of a sudden that old black car would appear in your mirror and you just get nervous. I mean, because you knew how fast he was and you knew that he would move you out of the way to beat you. It's the same kind of thing with Simon, man. He gets behind you and you know he's coming.
Absolutely.
I mean, how many guys this year have we seen make a mistake with him in their mirror? Several.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you. I think you are right. And, I'm just saying that I think I don't know if he's going to have enough time.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to make it interesting, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough.
Yeah, he's going to have one more lap, and he ain't going to get there.
No, if we had 2 more laps, he would be there.
I don't know.
I was waiting for one of those, like, well, if my aunt, or if my uncle did.
Yeah, I don't know if you are. We're going to enter the final lap now. Gonzaga's going to take the white flag. Barney's waving. We got a 2-second mark. He's safe now. I think, George, just make sure you can get this car to the end. I think you're going to wrap this one up. Matthews,
it's all on George now. It's all on George.
Everything is on Mr. Gonzaga. Slow it down. Round you go. Coming into the fountain. Round you go. Can afford to lose at least 8 attempts here.
Yeah.
Now for
look, all credit to George. As much as I was hoping for Simon to make a move out of this, look, George ran a great race here.
Yeah, through the left-hander. He has done a great race, to be fair. He got out in front and he's led the way. Staying on board at the moment. 1.8. It's not going to be enough. You can afford to lose a bit more time if you want George. Through the right-hander. Through the left-hander. Mr. Gonzaga is going to win race number 2.
Oh, he closed it right up there at the end. It's over, but golly, he got right there almost within a second. Well, that was fun.
George comes over the line. Simon Edwards grabs 8 spots and takes second. Paul LeMay grabs third with Dave Rolliston and Jamie Bird in behind that. There's Dave Rolliston going over the line.
Yeah, let's not forget that Simon had an incident on lap 1 with Paul LeMay. Yeah.
Ooh,
and Paul LeMay recovered nice too, though, to finish 4th after that incident where he got spun.
Paul grabs third. Very action-packed at the moment.
Hey, Jamie put a cover over his feet.
Yeah.
I like Jamie's new paint job as much as you and I like a good yellow race car like he's always had.
I'm sure it'll be all right if you got it right, because that's Luke Crowley.
I mean, that's what I meant, Luke. I meant Luke. But he doesn't have the torpedo on there, does he?
Don't think so.
Yeah, you got to have the torpedo on there.
Well, maybe. For him, he might do. There you go. Let's bring you out the results of the feature race.
I like the fountain.
It does. It looks gorgeous. George Gonzaga is your winner with Simon Edwards, Paul LeMay, and David Rolliston, your top 4. And behind that is Jamie Bird, Luke Crowley, Phil Glover, and then Graham Matthews out, Mike Bousson, and Michael LeMay, unfortunately, out as well. So, not good for the 3 at the bottom, but good for Simon Edwards. Let's have a chat with Mr. Phil Glover. Phil, how was race number 2 out there, sir?
Well, I've got this horrible scraping noise in my car. Can you see what? Have I got no wing on the front?
No, you have.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No, you're dropping.
It's broke.
It's broke. Have you punctured the wall?
Yeah. No. So Graham spun out in front of me. I had nowhere to go, so I just hit him. Which was a shame because I think I would have possibly got Graham, and then maybe we would have hung on a bit longer here because it's quite difficult to pass.
Yeah, you got your front splitters breaking away from your nose cone.
Yeah, it's been doing that all night.
Unfortunately for you, it really
yeah.
needs to.
So well, like I say, these things happen.
They definitely do, Bud. They definitely do. Are you aware where the final race of the season is?
Well, I have seen it in print, but I can't spell it. I can't say it out loud. Is it Shetzelin or something like that?
No, Saxon Ring.
It didn't say that the Discord.
It did. SACHSENRING.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a wine, a Japanese wine.
It does, yes, but it's not. So there we go. That's where we are for the final of next week, Phil. Well done, buddy. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
George, he won, didn't he? So big shout out to George.
All right, Phil. Take care, buddy. I'll see you next week.
Yeah. See you later.
Bye.
I love George.
Dearie me. All right, let's have a chat with...
I love Phil, man. Phil's the best.
Simon Edwards, 6th win in race number 1, 2nd place in race number 2, but he had a very action-packed race number 2, and it kicked off right at the beginning where he he did, unfortunately, spin Paul LeMay, but I think that could be down to the fact that everybody checked up in front of him. But let's have a chat with him now. Mr. Edwards, welcome in, sir.
Hello. You've just said what I was about to say. That was my excuse. Yeah.
What, that everybody checked up?
Yeah, they sort of went on the roundabout, and I didn't realise Paul was going to try around that. I knew he was roughly around there. So I gave myself a little bit of room not to hit the back of them. And unfortunately, I didn't even get a 0x, but you can see I spun him. So, yeah, I apologise, but I was going to drive off.
Well, you kind of had to wait for him, to be fair, Simon. Because
I did reverse up and give him room to get so he could turn round. Yeah.
Well, you did a great job from there, though. You come back and grabbed yourself at 2nd place. I think, to be honest, if my maths are correct, going into that next week, I don't think it's really going to matter. I think you are going to be champion.
Yeah, I think all I needed was 48 points in either race.
Yeah, and
when there's only 10 of us, it's highly likely.
Yeah, and you've only got... Well, you've gone and done that, didn't you, anyway? So, to be blatantly honest, I think you've wrapped up the win there, mate. Listen, a quick question that come up earlier. How old are you?
This month or next month?
Right now.
I am 57.
Damn you. All right. And you're still kicking the whippersnapper's butt. Go on, Simon Edwards, your bad self on that one.
I'm not sure they're whippersnappers, to be honest with you. There's Phil's older. And I think the others are mostly in their 40s.
Yeah, but Luke Crowley's not, is he?
I think he's older than you think 'cause he's got kids, but he's not like a teenager. He's going to be in at least his 20s, late 20s maybe.
I'll ask him.
Yeah, ask him. Yeah,
I'll ask him.
When you're 57, that's a whippersnapper.
Yeah, everybody's a whippersnapper when you're that age, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, policemen, have to change their nappies and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, did you have anything to do with the last track of the season?
No, I don't know who's playing tricks.
You don't know whose pick it is?
Well, it would have been Luke's, wouldn't it? Luke, James Barry. So I wonder if he's decided to throw a spanner in the works.
Yeah, I don't know where that track come from, but it doesn't look great, to be honest. But there we go. I'm going to find out how the racing is next week, I guess. Anyone you want to shout out before I let you go?
I'm going to give a shout out to Paul there because he did have a good pace, and he's managed to finish behind me both races, hasn't he? Recovered well.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to do that. It wasn't intentional.
All right, mate. We'll let you. Look at you chuckling after as well. He's definitely makes that sound killing.
It's no, I've got a little cough. That's what it is.
All right, mate. Well, there you go. Simon Edwards, we'll see you next week, buddy.
Yeah, see you. Bye.
Bye. Well, I'm going to pull him in now. We're going to have a chat with Mr. Paul LeMay. We've just interviewed Simon Edwards. He said Paul LeMay finished twice behind me. I didn't do it on purpose in race number 2, and then had a Darsley and Muttley chuckle after Paul. Are we going to be filing protest, Paul LeMay?
What do you think, mate?
Yeah, go on. Stitch him up.
I gave him loads of room. I've had a quick look at it, and he's gone to avoid. I think he would have seen me alongside, considering he's in VR.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was struggling to hold on in race 1 with my arms. It was horrendous, and then in race 2, I was struggling to keep Roller behind, to be honest. And yeah, so it's just one of those things, mate. I don't know, but yeah.
I don't know. It was a little Muttley laugh after for me from Simon Edwards. It was like,
did he?
I was like,
sly old fox, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then he blamed it on a cough.
Yeah,
he said it was a cough.
I've got a little cough. He went.
Oh, come on.
I know, but listen, I think that's pretty much cement Simon for the championship. I've got to be honest. But the battle is on between you and Luke. Luke didn't have a great evening. He dropped points to you in race 1 and dropped points in race number 2, so it could be interesting going into the Saxon ring.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that it was going to be hard to beat Simon. I gave everything in race 1 until my arms wore out, and I just knew that I needed to finish ahead of George and Luke, and just try and keep ahead of them. So yeah, I mean, we'll do our best and see how we go.
Well, that's all we can ask, Mr.
Apparently,
LeMay.
it's Saxon Ring, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rotten circuit. Who picked that?
George.
No.
Well,
was that on behalf of James Barry?
Yeah, which he's not in the championship, and I think it's a little bit. I think the guy in second should pick the track myself, but there you go. That's how it normally works, but hey, it's controversial.
Yeah, I'll get it in the Sun tomorrow. It'll be on front page news. If it's in the Sun, mate, it's
we'll see what happens, mate. It looks like a good track. I don't own it, but it looks like a good track.
I said to Jim earlier on, it looks like a mouth open with tonsils hanging down.
It does.
Dear.
Have a look at it and you'll see exactly what I mean. But Paul LeMay, thank you so much, mate. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, Simon.
Okay.
Well, he had the pace. I couldn't live with him tonight, and he's been strong all season. Yeah, so shout out to Simon because I think he's got it pretty much in the bag, hasn't he?
Why? What happened to Mike?
He got back late from London, did hardly any practice, and just thought it was a bit of a liability, I think. So I don't know. I'll have a chat with him later.
All right, mate. No worries. Right, Paul.
Yeah.
See you next
All
week,
right,
mate.
guys.
Good luck.
Yeah, take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, let's have a chat with a man who broke his livery this week for it to not appear on his car for my broadcast, but he went and took the win. Yes, really, in race number 2. He is the man of war, Mr. George Gonzaga. Yes, sir. If you look at the screen share I have going, your car is black with green lines on.
Black with... Oh, no. Oh,
Yep.
well. No, crap. Really? Would I have a freaking win?
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
Well, that ain't my fault. I didn't put it on, did I? You've touched something.
No,
I used I used trading paints, didn't load it properly. I used another loading program for paint program. It didn't load it either. So whatever you've touched this week, George, you broke it.
Goddamn trading paints. Oh, well, at least I got the win. So
You did get the win, mate. That's all right, isn't it? That's going to keep you in and around Paul LeMay and Luke Crowley going into next week. I've got to ask you, we sat here and we watched that relative descend quicker than a broken elevator at Trump Towers with no brakes, mate. I've got to be honest. It was coming down quick. And how was it in the car? Because the pressure must have been horrendous.
Horrendous. You have no idea. Like I started making math mid race. Like, okay, he's like probably a second faster. He's second faster. Like, I have 4 laps to go. Maybe I can do it. I just need to kind of pull up. And in the meantime, last 3 laps, I was already like with the excitement, another addition of difficulty. So the excitement kicked in, and I was like, oh. So yeah, it was really stressing, really nerve wracking. And the last lap, the last section, I saw it was like 1.7, and okay, unless I hit the wall, I'm just gonna slow down here a bit, and all of a sudden he gains like half a second in those 2 corners. But yeah, you know, he had the pace. I think he might have had a bit of damage as well from the beginning. So, but yeah, it was nerve wracking, like one of the most stressful races. Like it had to be perfect, and yeah, it was perfect in a way. Yeah,
it definitely was perfect there, mate. Going into next week, dude, the Saxon Ring.
I love it. I love that track. It's one of my favorite tracks. And yeah,
did you pick that? Did you pick it on behalf of James?
I'm not gonna comment on that. I don't know.
You picked it, didn't you?
Yeah.
All the racetracks in the whole of iRacing, and you pick one that looks like a mouth open with a tonsil hanging down in the middle.
Have you driven it? It's amazing. It's super fast.
You had Thruxton, which is epic, and you pick a tonsil track.
Look, in the end, it's what I said to Daryl. James did the proxy nomination. This is my pick, but obviously it comes down to the community. If everyone wants to change it, they're more than welcome. But if I may say, it's an amazing track. It's like one of the most fun tracks I've done. It's perfect for this car. Very wide. You literally go 90-degree corners flat out. Has a really interesting technical section on the beginning. You know, and it's also a paid track. It's the same. The people will have to buy a track. I don't know. Yeah, obviously we're a British Championship. People will prefer Thruxton, but I don't know. Just give it a try and then make your verdict.
All right. If the racing sucks next week, I am coming for you, George Gonzaga.
Fair enough.
All right. All right. Okay. That's a fair deal. Listen, mate. It's a pleasure talking to you, as it always is. I could talk to you all night. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you
go? Yeah, shout out to you guys, to whoever's still racing in the league. I know numbers are not famous, but you know, we're still a very loyal bunch, and it's all amazing guys. Shout out to Simon for being redonkulous fast and for putting me on my best. Also, yeah, a shout out to Luke Maxwell and Simon for the Bathurst 12 hours last weekend. That was a tough race as well, but we got it to the end. And obviously,
did you win?
No, P20, but top 3, split 3. It was not that bad. We got punted a couple of times, so like always.
Yeah, punted. Yeah, that's the reason. I use that excuse every time I race, George.
You need to speak to Simon, not to me. I had to act the whole race.
So, are you kidding me though? You, Luke Maxwell, and Simon.
Jim, they're in GT3.
Still though.
Yeah.
That's some fast drivers, man.
But they were a lot faster. Yeah, it's really competitive at that level. So yeah, but it was interesting. Yeah.
Well, let's kick him out, George. Lovely as always. Did you do your shout outs?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I'm losing my marbles. Right, take care, buddy. Have a good one, mate, and I'll catch you later. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, there we go, Jim. Another week done. Final week of the season next week, and we're going to a mouth-breathing track with a tonsil hanging down.
Yes. Well, I will say this. George sold that track well enough to make me want to drive it.
Well,
the way he described it, it sounded fun.
All right. Well,
now, whether it really is,
if I own it, I'll have to have a look. If I've got to buy it, I'm invoicing George.
Right. No, I'm sure we're gonna have to buy it. I know I don't own it.
If I'm buying it, George Gonzaga, and I'm invoicing you for it. But there you go, guys. On that bombshell, we're going to wrap it up here this evening as well. I've been JP. I've been in the booth with Jim Cunningham. Take care. Have a great week. You never know. Let's see you on the chat sometime. Good night.